and welcome to another webinar. Today I'm going to talk about how to stay motivated during your studies or during your research. This video will be relevant to students pursuing their undergrad degree, bachelor's, master's, or researchers doing their PhD, or even students at school. There has been a lot of things that I see that when students are kind of demotivated during their studies or during their research. So I'm going to I'm going to tell you what are the main reasons why you can get demotivated, and I'm going to provide you with some strategies or some directions on what you can do when you experience demotivation. All right, this is a two-part video series. In the first part, I'm going to talk about 7 different challenges that leads to demotivation, and then I will provide you with some suggestions on how to deal with it. And in the second part of the video, we'll have another 7. So in total, 14 different reasons why you can get demotivated and how to deal with it. Okay, so I hope this video series has been useful to you all. For those who are just joining for the first time, maybe I would like to tell you that in the month of March, I'm doing 1 webinar a day, and I'm picking up topics that are related and helpful to students and researchers pursuing their undergrad, master's, or post or PhD programs. So I've covered a lot of topics. Do check out all these videos and much more, which are there on my YouTube channel. But this video is also streamed on all other platforms. This is the link to my YouTube channel. Do subscribe to it and follow me so that you do not miss any upcoming videos. All right. So before we begin, I would like to thank our sponsors, SciSpace, for sponsoring this video. SciSpace is an AI platform for researchers. So do check that out if you want to speed up your research. All right. So the first reason why you may feel demotivated is because of isolation. And this can happen if you have just moved to a different city to start your studies. This could be your bachelor's, master's program. You're not staying with your family, with your parents, and you are in either in a completely different city or in a completely different country. So isolation can happen because one of these reasons. It can also happen because you feel that you are away from your natural environment or normal environment where you are quite comfortable before. But now you are in a different place, different city. It can cause the feeling of isolation. Maybe you do not have friends yet, but the moment you will have friends, that isolation will start to go. Isolation can also happen because sometimes if you are pursuing your PhD, right? If you are doing research is a very solitary exercise. You are working on your own, right? In that case, what happens is you may feel isolated because you don't have anyone to talk to. So in such a case, it is a very good idea to engage in some research discussion with your fellow PhD students. Or if you are currently studying for your bachelor's or master's and you are doing an assignment, if it is an individual assignment, maybe it is a good approach to kind of talk and brainstorm with some other students who are in your class. So that way you will not feel so isolated and disconnected from the outside world. So what can you do to manage isolation? First of all, I already told you that you can make new friends. You can start collaborating or discussing your research or discussing your assignments with your fellow students who are in the same class with you or who are doing PhD along with you. You can also join a support network. See, a support network is very important in any stage of your life or career, not only during your studies, but even after study. So a support network could be a group of colleagues, group of friends who kind of get together. It could be a mentor who can assist you or guide you during your journey. And this support network is very important, to give up, to not feel isolated or alone, because that is the worst feeling. I know, because when I first came to Australia, I did have the same feeling. but then I made some really good friends, and they are lifelong friends now. So that thing is, is very useful to have a good support network, good friends, and so on. You can also seek counseling. Most universities, good universities, will have a counselor on the university campus. If you are really feeling demotivated, you're really feeling low, it is a good idea to go and seek counseling and take self care. Look after yourself. It is very common, and it is not only you that is happening to you. There may be other students, other researchers also experiencing the same thing. So the more you kind of go out and talk to others, you will help it both ways. You will, if two people who are alone and isolated, if they meet together, they have something to talk to, and then their isolation disappears, it just vanishes. So try to be out, try to be social, attend some events that are happening in your campus or in the city, and be engage with people. The once you are social, once you start connecting with people, isolation will go. All right, so that was the first reason why you may be demotivated from your studies. The second reason for demotivation is lack of progress. Research or studying often involves exploring new things, and lack of progress can lead to frustration and demotivation. So what can you do? I mean, lack of progress happens if you do not follow a proper plan, or if there is nobody to guide you on what to do, and you just lose track of what you have to do and where you are. So keep a track. Managing your progress is very easy if you know what to do. So one of the first things that I would suggest in managing progress, or what actually causes you not to progress, is some form of distractions. Right? So if there are some distractions, and these are distractions, say for example social media, you spend too much time looking at your phone, or browsing Instagram or Facebook, or Snapchat, or whatever you may be using. If you are thinking that you are getting distracted with this external distraction, keep it away. It's as simple as that. The time that you are wasting on this distraction could be used for your studies or for your research. And another way is, look at setting some smart goals. If you have a goal, that this is what you want to achieve. This is what you want to achieve today, tomorrow, this week, or in this month. You have something to work towards, and then you can align your progress with those small mini deliverables or targets, I would say. So that way it will help you to stay focused and continue with your progress, and make this a routine. Maybe when you get up in the morning, or when you reach the uni, spend the first hour to read, maybe. Or if you want to have to complete your assignment, read the assignment and brainstorm some ideas. What is it that you can how can you handle this assignment? Get some ideas, start documenting, start writing, set up a routine. Routine is very important. If you have a routine, you know what you should do at what time, and you will do it at that time. And once you do that, you will be gradually progressing with your work, right? So keep that in mind. And another thing to do is to celebrate your small wins. So whatever it may be finishing of an assignment, submission of an assignment, finishing your research paper, or submitting it for review, or getting a feedback or acceptance of your research paper. No matter what achievement it is, take some time to celebrate it. Yeah, this is very important. And even after doing all these things, if you still think that you're not making progress, just step back and reevaluate your strategies. You tried to do 10 different things to be on track to progress. How many of them are working, and how many did not work? So take that time to adjust your strategies. It doesn't mean that if you have a strategy, you just have to stick to it. There's always be you have that flexibility to change and change your plan, modify your plan, so that you can achieve your what you desire. That is the progress that you want to make. So if you follow some of these ideas, I'm pretty sure that you will progress very well, and you will be motivated to continue working, and so the demotivation will just disappear. Okay, and also take time to rest and recover is very important. Next is unclear goals. See, this is the reason why a lot of students or researchers get demotivated. The main cause is, if you do not have a clear goal of what you want to do, you will have no idea how to do it, and then it will again result in lack of progress, right? So if you have clear achievable goals, you will not feel directionless or overwhelmed. You know that these are the 10 things that I have to do, and I will do it. So have clear goals. Imagine that you are standing at the a staircase, and you're at the very bottom step or the first step, and you can see the staircase 10 steps up. You know that you once you climbed these 10 steps, you will complete the task of going from the ground floor to the first floor. Same thing you need to do with your work or with your research or with your studies. So you have to have that staircase in mind. What are the 10 different steps that you have to take to reach your goal. Your goal is to maybe complete an assignment, submit a research paper for review, finish your thesis. No matter what goal you have to achieve for that time, have it clear in your mind, and best is to document that somewhere, either on paper or use any of the planning, task management or planning softwares that you can. There are so many freely available tools, that you can, or apps you can use on phone or on your laptop. So plan very clearly, have a set goal, and make a list of the sub tasks or sub goals that you have to achieve to get to that final target. If you do that, you will always be motivated, right? Because you have something to do every time. You will not be sitting thinking, oh, what can I do now? I don't know what to do. What should I be doing? And you kind of start killing your time, and maybe just again go back to your distractions. Could be again looking at your phone, browsing the Instagram, browsing reels, or when you have nothing to do, you will get distracted. So if you have something to do, no matter whatever time you allocate for that, only do that thing. Maybe just keep your phone away, or keep your video games away. If you have decided you are going to study for 4 weeks, or research for study for 4 hours and research for 4 hours, those 4 hours just dedicate it for that. After that time is gone, you can do whatever you want, right? But that specific time that you have allocated, just focus on what you want to achieve in that time. And that is the best possible way to progress, and then not and remain motivated. So when you are creating goals, I think you already know SMART goals. What is SMART goal means? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So whenever you mention or create a goal, make sure that it is very specific, and it has to be measurable, which means you need to know whether you have completed it or not. Next is achievable, which means that goal should be achievable in the time frame that you have given, right? And it should be relevant to what you're trying to achieve, and it should be time bound, which means if you are going to finish an assignment, the time will be the deadline for submitting of the assignment. Or if it is your thesis, the deadline will be the 3 years of your PhD. So keep that in mind. And if you have these clear goals, and if they are SMART goals, and you have a plan and a strategy to execute that goals, you will progress. And once you progress, I think there will be no time for getting demotivated, and you will actually enjoy and be happy with the progress that you are making. A next thing that can cause demotivation is lack of interest. This could be because the subject that you are studying or the course that you have taken is not very interesting or relevant to your personal goals or future plans, right? But maybe this is a compulsory unit that you have to study during your degree, or maybe it is a stage in your research that is compulsory. You have to do it. You cannot ignore it, or you cannot skip it. you have to finish it. So this kind of lack of interest can happen, and it is a reality. It is not something that everyone will like everything, right? So this can happen. So what you have to do in this case is you have to figure out how you can manage this problem, manage this challenge. So one way is to look at real life examples. So whatever you have been given, a task that you have been given, or a research activity that you have to complete, think about the real life example. Where will this be helpful? Where will this be useful? And once you relate that to a real world example, you will kind of start building up some interest, because you can see that, okay, if I finish this, this is the impact of the work that I have done. So you will start getting interest through this. You could use technology. So whenever there is a problem that you're facing, these days there are many different apps or tools that you can use to manage some of the challenges that you're facing in your life. So if lack of interest is one of the challenge, deal with it. That is the only way. If you cannot get rid of it, you have to deal with it, and you just have to finish whatever that task is. Maybe it is not the 100% result that you would get in that, but good enough for you to understand why it is important, why it is useful to learn this thing. You may need, or you may benefit from this knowledge that you're getting during this stage, but this stage which you think it is not useful or you're not interested, but somewhere down the line it may help you in your life, in your career, somewhere or the other. And the other thing is, someone can kind of motivate you in this situation. It could be your teacher who is teaching you, or it could be your PhD supervisor who can kind of help you to nurture that interest in this topic. Sometimes mentors can also be helpful to deal with this problem. And if you can gamify this, some form of gamification, or some rewards that you can earn by completing a task, or if someone designs gamification around the problem that you're doing, or you can do it a self gamification. You can say, if I complete this today, I will reward myself with this thing. It may be an extra time for playing games, or maybe watching an extra movie, or going and having a nice dinner, whatever it may be. You can gamify it yourself, so that you just finish the task. You don't just hold on to it and think, and you spend more time thinking about that. Oh, I'm not interested, this is just too boring, I don't want to do it, and this and that. Instead of that, just figure out, okay, this has to be done. Either I can give excuses, or I can just go and finish it. So my suggestion, gamify it and finish it, and then move on. Okay. Next point is lack of understanding. And this is probably one of the crucial challenges, for demotivation. When you don't understand something, you get demotivated. So what is it that you can do? It may be in the lecture that you're not understanding a concept that is being taught. And you can, because of that, you can feel like, oh, this is, I'm not just feeling right. I don't understand. Why is it that I don't understand? Others are understanding. Why can't I get it? And it makes you feel incompetent, right? So lack of understanding, what is the answer to that? You have to put some efforts to learn. Maybe it may take longer for you to learn, but in the end you can learn, right? If you imagine, as a baby, when we are born, we cannot walk directly, right? We start crawling on, yeah, and then gradually we try and we start to walk. Same thing with speaking as well. We don't suddenly right away start speaking when we are born. We take time. Some people start speaking early, some people start speaking late. So this is okay. And then if you apply the same analogy here, just take your time. Take your time to understand what you are finding it difficult to understand, and get help from people who from mentors, maybe your teacher. Just go and ask your teacher, or ask your PhD supervisor, that I'm not understanding this. What can I do? Can you explain me this once again? It is just taking too much of my time. I'm not getting a hang of it. Just go and talk to people, ask them for their advice and help. You can also get some private tutoring if you want. Hire a tutor to help you teach this. And these days, you can even use AI to explain new concepts in different ways so that it is easier to understand. If you want to learn something, ask ChatGPT, for example, can you explain me this? If you don't understand that explanation, ask it to explain in a different way, or ask it to give an analogy to help you understand this concept. So there are many ways in which you can build your knowledge, build your understanding of the concepts that you're finding it difficult to understand. Yeah. So take time. Don't have to be in a rush to do it, but remember that it is a problem, and then you have to solve the problem. How you solve it, I have given some suggestions here already, and wherever you can use AI to be your online guide or online teacher to help you with your learning experience. Next is lack of support. This can also be a problem because it is kind of related to the one that the thing that I talked about before is lack of understanding. If you are if you're not able to understand something, it may be because there is not enough support from whoever you need that support, right? It could be from your teachers, from your supervisors, from your family, from your peers. It could be a lack of support that can demotivate you. Sometimes you need somebody there to come and talk to you and then just cheer you up, that let's do this, it is not that hard, I can help you, let's try this way, let's try this approach, that approach. And that kind of support is needed to motivate you, to keep you motivated. So if you are feeling demotivated, I hope you find somebody who can cheer you up. Or if you're listening now and if you see somebody who is lacking motivation, maybe you can be that person to cheer them up, give them that support, give them that counseling or mentoring they may need to help them come out of this situation that they are facing. If you're a student or a researcher, you can create some research groups or study groups, study teams that like 4 or 5 of you come together and study together or have a research discussion together. So that way you will kind of sort of build that support network that you need. And this can be also online, right? You can connect with people online through forums or discussion boards or chat groups and so on to get that support. There are many different ways or sources through which you can get the required support. So get that. And if you need, you can also use technology. These days technology is there for literally everything that you can imagine. So there are many support groups available online. You can do that. You can also do some self-learning to how to deal with it. Read some books. Books are probably the biggest treasure trove that a lot of people do not realize. So take time to upskill yourself, learn some new things to deal with the challenges that you're facing, and you'll be very happy in the end that once you have tackled a problem that you thought was a problem for you before and now it is not. That feeling is just amazing. Okay, the last point, or the last challenge that I want to discuss in today's session is external distractions. And I did mention this a bit earlier on as well, that you may be distracted due to social media, video games, or other distractions, that demotivates you. So you need to have a strategy, a plan on how to control these distractions, control your environment around where these distractions are coming from. When I was doing my PhD, I used to go to my research lab early in the morning, like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, because there was nobody in the lab. The phone would not ring. There will be no notification because everyone is sleeping. The only people I could I knew or I met were the cleaners who used to come early in the morning to clean the offices and so on. But other than that, there was no distraction, no noise from the outside, nothing. It was just too calm and quiet, and it was such a beautiful time to just focus and concentrate on your work that it was just amazing. So if you are struggling with distractions like this, try to get your work done at a time when these distractions are not there. Yeah, so maybe either early in the morning or late in the night, depending upon whether you're a morning person or a late night person. Try and do that. Make your workspace such that when you are there, your only objective has to be completing the tasks that you have identified for yourself for that particular day or that particular hour, and just focus on that and complete it. If you manage your time properly, organize and have a proper plan, and you work in an environment that is supportive and distraction free, I would say, I think you'll be able to manage all these external distractions. Maybe make a note of what are the things that are bothering you or distracting you during your work, and then figure out what you can do. If it is the phone that is distracting you, just keep it on aeroplane mode, so there is no calls, no notifications. Disable the internet on your close off the internet on your phone. Take any action that you need to make sure that you are not distracted in that 3 to 4 hours or 7 hours, whatever time that you have allocated for the particular the work that you want to achieve or the research that you want to get completed. Okay, so these were the 7 challenges that I think many of the students face, and my suggestions on how you can deal with these challenges if you're facing. Okay, the next video that I'm going to do tomorrow is I'll be teaching, or I'll be showcasing a demo of how you can develop a new algorithm using ChatGPT. So as part of your PhD or as part of your research, one of the things that you need to do is to develop a new algorithm or a new model. But in tomorrow's video, I'm going to talk about how to develop a new algorithm. We will not going to develop the whole thing, but I will show you how you can leverage ChatGPT as your research assistant to get all the background research, background work that is needed to develop a new algorithm. And we can even do some pseudocode that are done during this session. So do join me on this session, because it is going to be an exciting and power-packed session, and you'll get a lot of learnings from this video, from this session. Okay, thank you all very much for joining these webinars, and I would also like to thank my sponsors once again. If you would like to join Skyscape, the discount coupon is there in the description of this video. So go take that, use that discount voucher and start your subscription with Skyscape. All right, that's all for today's session. If you have not subscribed to my videos or YouTube, do that now, and I will see you again tomorrow. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye.